Coming up in today's show, we take you through the process of applying for a Jamaican passport, plus life lessons from 3Ps and Division, and the Jamaica Library Service, transforming lives through access to information. This is Jamaica Magazine, and I am Theodore Henry. Welcome.
Get legal advice for free. Yes, free! From the Mobile Justice Unit. The Mobile Justice Unit makes scheduled stops in towns across the country, and the unit is open for stops at community meetings and school expos. Get free consultation on matters to do with land, immigration, divorce, job redundancy or termination, custody and maintenance. The Mobile Justice Unit, providing access to timely justice outcomes. To request a visit, contact the Legal Aid Council, 131 Tower Street, downtown Kingston, or call them at 922-3761.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your GIS News for Thursday, April 6. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is assuring property owners that the ongoing review of the new calculations for property taxes will be mutually beneficial to all. Mr. Holness says the special cabinet subcommittee established to review the taxes have taken citizens' concerns into consideration. As a result, he says the administration is aiming to strike the right balance.
We're doing the necessary reviews just to ensure that we take into consideration, all the views and issues. One thing we can say is that it is never easy. Never easy. But I think we'll get it right.
Prime Minister Holness was speaking on Wednesday at the 40th Anniversary Long Service Award ceremony of the National Housing Trust. The function recognized 284 permanent staff who have given 15 years or more to the agency. The Prime Minister and Culture Minister Olivia Grange yesterday unveiled a comprehensive schedule of events and projects to mark Jamaica's 55th anniversary of independence. The celebrations include a program of Jamaica 55 legacy projects. They include the establishment of a Caribbean Sports Medicine Center, redevelopment of the Trelawney Stadium, statues of outstanding Olympians, a National Children's Park, and establishment of a Jamaica Performing Arts Center. Ms. Grange says the initiatives are to ensure that the celebrations leave a lasting legacy for generations to come.
It is not just about celebrating and having celebratory events, but it is about leaving lasting legacy, ensuring that we have legacy projects that will be there to mark this milestone.
Jamaica 55 is being celebrated under the theme Celebrating Jamaicans at Home and Abroad. At Wednesday's media launch, a portrait of Prime Minister Andrew Holness was unveiled. The painting, done by Kai Watson, will be hung at Jamaica House. In the meantime, the Culture Minister is insisting that the role of the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, is not being usurped in planning national events, and particularly the Jamaica 55 celebrations. In a statement to Parliament yesterday, Minister Grange refuted what she described as several erroneous statements and hurtful allegations made during the sectorial presentation by the MP for South East St. Anne, Lisa Hanna.
I just want to reiterate that the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission does an extraordinary job with very little resources, and sometimes these have to be buttressed to relieve them of undue pressure.
The minister insisted that the Secretariat for Jamaica 55 was primarily set up to deal with the tremendous back-office logistical and administrative services demanded by an event of this magnitude,
which in turn affords the technical people actually executing the program the opportunity to do their job unhindered. It is not about taking away anything. It is about supporting. The JCDC was and always has been the executive producer of the Grand Gala, conceptualizing, planning, and implementing, always.
In line with that, Minister Grange pointed out that the $440 million budgeted in fiscal year 2017-2018 for the promotion of cultural activities and celebration of national events is entirely allocated to the JCDC. It includes $200 million for Jamaica 55 projects. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says the sector is poised for more growth, pointing to current investments exceeding $1 billion. The minister was opening the sectoral debate in Parliament on Tuesday.
Over 3,000 rooms are being made available, which never had been before last winter. 3,000 additional rooms that are coming. Of that, Mr. Speaker, close to 2,000 have already been added or will be coming on stream in the next few weeks.
Minister Bartlett says the attractions subsector is also witnessing improvements, including J. Ray and Nephew's $7 million investment into the Appleton Estate Rum Tour in St. Elizabeth. And finally, Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie has given a commitment to replace the boundary fence at the Negril Fire Station to improve safety at the facility. The directive follows a report of a theft at the fire station where a television was taken.
Therefore, I have given instructions to the mayor to have the superintendent of the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation immediately prepare an estimate to replace the boundary fence here at the fire brigade station. My instructions are not to put back a chain link fence, but to put a solid concrete fence, not just to protect the equipment, but to protect the lives of those who work here.
Minister McKenzie was speaking at the recent handing over of an ambulance to the Negril Fire Department. The pre-owned, reconditioned ambulance was purchased by the Issa Trust Foundation and Couples Resort Jamaica at a cost of $35,000.
In addition to this, we brought down a mechanic to train local personnel in the maintenance of this particular vehicle and a specialist nurse who taught the correct use of the medical equipment on board.
The donation was facilitated by the Health for Life Wellness Foundation, a charitable arm of the Ministry of Health. Acting Commissioner of the Fire Brigade, Raymond Spencer, highlighted the importance of the gift.
This Negril Fire Station, on a monthly basis, responds to an average of 110 calls for assistance. That alone demonstrates the nature of the work that is going to be on the ambulance here.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
It's time for us to get it right. Equal rights and justice for our men and women. Equality. A message from the Bureau of Gender Affairs and Dispute Resolution Foundation, paid for by the UN Women Fund for Gender Equality.
Want to know how to apply for a Jamaican passport? Watch this.
Your passport is a secure travel document used to show proof of identity and citizenship, most often during international travel. The Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, is the entity responsible for issuing the Jamaican passport. Application forms are available from PICA's offices or its website, as well as the regional headquarters of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the offices of Jamaica's foreign missions abroad. Adults living in Jamaica who are applying for a passport for the first time must appear in person either at the head office of the Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency or to an immigration officer stationed in the police divisional headquarters in each parish. These first-time adult applicants are required to submit a completed and certified application form. They also need a valid photo ID and 2 passport-sized photographs, one of which must be certified. Other documents required include a birth certificate and, if necessary, an adoption register, certificate of citizenship, and marriage certificate. And yes, there's an application fee that must be paid. When an application for a passport is being made for a minor, one of the parents or a legal guardian is required to complete the application form. The legal guardian must also present the letter from the court conferring guardianship on him or her. Meanwhile, persons acting on behalf of parents who are overseas need a letter of authorization from the parent and a copy of the parent's passport or valid photo ID. Children 3 years of age and over are required to appear in person with their parent or guardian for all applications. And in making the application, the following documents must be submitted: a certified application form, 2 passport-sized photographs, birth certificate, adoption register, certificate of citizenship, and the parent's ID. Here again, an application fee is required. Your passport needs to be renewed if it has expired, there are no more pages in it for visas, or if you have changed your name. Your current passport and a certified application form must be submitted in order to renew the passport. All the documents required for first-time applicants must also be submitted for renewal. Once these documents are submitted to PICA and the required application fees paid, you should receive a receipt and your application will be processed by the agency. Processing takes 7 working days for applications made through the Kingston office and 14 working days for applications made through the Montego Bay office, after which you should receive your new passport. When collecting your passport, you must present the receipt you were issued when the application was made. If someone is collecting on behalf of another person, he or she must provide a signed letter of authorization from the applicant and a copy of the applicant's ID, along with the receipt issued when the application was made. For additional information, visit the Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency offices in Kingston or Montego Bay. They can also be reached by telephone. Or you can send an email to citizenship@pica.gov.jm or visit pica.gov.jm.
If you're watching the JIS, you're always in the know when it comes to government information. Keep watching, keep informed, and tell your friends. JIS, your #1 source for government info.
Want to know the law pertaining to renting a house? What about the procedure if you're arrested? Or what is defined as corruption? Then click on the Ministry of Justice website. It has information on every law passed in Jamaica. The House of Parliament portal also has the more recent year's pieces of legislation. The sites are easy to search and the files are downloadable. Make access to justice your business. Know your rights.
It's been 11 months.
7 years. 12 years.
Since I became the most important person in the world.
It's a big responsibility to know that her future is in our hands.
I have to tell him and show him that he is my #1. I want to prepare them for life's journey. So as them grow, them know the difference between right and wrong.
I gotta make sure that I keep him out of bad company. Because if I don't raise him right, the streets are gonna raise him. I feel, she feel.
If me stumble, him fall. Knowing I'm responsible for their future and they're responsible for Jamaica's future.
So I won't give up or allow her to quit. I'm gonna make sure I'm safe on the straight and narrow.
Me prefer to tell them no now than watch them regret it later.
Because to the world, I'm just another person. But to my child, I'm the whole wide world.
We head over now to St. James for a quick stop at the parish library. Jamaica Library Service continues to impact communities in a positive way, and in order to do so, they have rolled out a series of new and enhanced programs and services in all public libraries. In the St. James Parish Library Network, public servants, students, and persons with physical disabilities are enjoying the benefits of these initiatives.
St. James Parish Library Network consists of 9 branch libraries, a parish library, a mobile library service, and a special service at the children's ward of the Cornwall Regional Hospital. We also offer a wide array of computer-related services.
Since 2003, the St. James Parish Library has engaged with those representing the physically challenged community and have provided a space to accommodate their learning and developmental needs.
They provide for the blind community on this side of the island what you call audio books. And they do it from home to home, or they will come to our meeting and provide us with any form of service in terms of the audiobooks. They have provided for my blind community at least 2 computers that is specifically assigned only to the blind, fully loaded and fully accessible, and we're definitely grateful for that.
The St. James Parish Library also provides accessibility and excellent customer service to all persons, including members of the security forces, as well as teachers, in order to improve their techniques in the classroom.
It's always good to read. You never know what you'll get about reading something. You'll learn a new word, you'll learn how to do something. The staff at the library is very nice, and they're very interactive, and they have no browsing, helping you to find new things, getting information and resources here.
I can upload learning materials to enhance my learning and also my teaching profession.
The library has also provided support to students within the environs, especially those from the neighboring St. James High School.
This library is very useful for my students because we have over 2,000 students and it's a shift system we operate. We have a small library and all the students in lower school, they would do library skills, so we don't have the space to accommodate our students for research.
The students are making the best use of the opportunities for their learning and development.
I get access to free Wi-Fi, which I do not have at home. Also, I like reading books, and by coming here, I get to do my SBA, and the Wi-Fi is very fast, and I enjoy the services that I get from the very friendly librarians.
Well, I'm finding the internet and the computer so far very easy and very fast.
The St. James Parish Library Network also provides free computer training for library users in varying age groups.
The St. James Parish Library has always been offering ongoing computer training. However, through the project, we now offer social media training, which include Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just to name a few. So we are encouraging members of the public to come down and sign up for membership and experience our wonderful services and programs that we offer.
The St. James Parish Library Network is taking a dynamic approach to providing informational and recreational activities for the public. We therefore encourage you to visit their library now and sign up for free membership and enjoy the benefits.
No, son. A verb is an action word.
Parents need to become more involved in their children's education.
Parents are the first and in many cases the most important teachers.
Read with your children. Review their schoolwork. Visit their school.
Tapping and rapping and slapping, I said.
Nice! High five! Woo!
A good education will never decay.
Farmers,
Let us be serious about predial larceny. It is affecting all of us. If you are aware of incidents of predial larceny, make contact with your local police station or call Crime Stop at 311. Predial larceny is everybody's business.
From 3 peas to acres of plants. That's the story of one man who has been able to make his contribution to the food supply chain and support his family. Here is Benjamin, who will tell you the rest of his story.
All this from just 3 peas.
While we're coming, I saw 2 grain of peas on the road and I picked it up. I take it home with me and I planted it beside my callaloo garden at the home.
This was in 1982 and the 3rd pea was found just a few days later at the same spot.
I saw a sucker. I just take my machete, take it up like that and I hold it like that and go to the field. And I planted it there. And that's how I started. From then, I keep planting and I buy a cow out of it. I raise chickens out of it, and I feel delighted to keep on doing it. As the message is that we might not have the wing way of life to fly up, but with small grains and have the courage to do it, we can reach somewhere.
Words of wisdom from Zephaniah Gibson, affectionately called Reuben, which somehow evolved into Benjamin. This West Rural St. Andrew farmer is proof positive that big things can come from small starts. It's a message he's eager to share, using his success as an example, from 3 peas planted in 1982 to close to 1 acre being sown and reaped today. It's a journey that has been documented in a manuscript titled Benjamin's Adventure.
And it born out of a desire to help those who are lazy. You don't want to do anything. And you say, this little morsel or this little, 2 grain is too small to start with. But Benjamin started with it. And it wasn't hard to do it for me because I love farming. And here is it today, rain in abundance.
Mr. Gibson, or Benjamin, is a farmer at heart, working the soil every chance he gets.
I would not live nowhere if I don't have even a square like this to plant something. I don't want it to live. No. Planting is my nature and I enjoy. And every day, you know what is big thing? 365 days make a year. And last year I've never bought 1 grain of peas, heating my rice and peas.
And this passion has him planting just about anything.
If you want me to cut it, make it very pretty. And it's 10 pumpkin come on the 1 tree. So I picked up 3 already. This is the 4th one, and I have 6 more. This is a blue and white Sylvan's. This yam heat, very delicious.
Mr. Gibson embodies the Ministry of Agriculture's Grow What We Eat What We Grow campaign. From his humble farm, he has been able to feed his family and provide for them from the sale of his produce.
I use the farm as a source of backup along with my trade. I am a skilled stone mason. I do painting otherwise and masonry. Looking back, if I had to do it over again, I would still do it because I thank God He gave me the strength to do it and the courage to do it. I'm a happy farmer. I'm a happy Benjamin.
At home in Salisbury Plain District, St. Andrew, his wife gives him the support he needs.
We prayed and asked God to bless whatever he put in the hurt. And, I know that the Lord did what we have asked him for. Little is much when God is in it. I didn't plan to marry a farmer, but I have no regrets. He's very hardworking and willing to do. When he reap the crop, I sit down and I shell out the peas them, and then we put it to sun, and sometimes we sell it to neighbors and sometimes far out. And he saves his money, and that helps support us very well, and I thank God for that. We live as a loving people, helpful to each other, anything we share among ourselves.
Things are good now, but Zephaniah Gibson has had moments of hardship, like losing a whole field of young plants to heavy rainfall. But he got up and got to planting again.
Although I am knocked down on my face, I am not going to lie there. I am going to stand tall and fight on. I said, courage, brother, do not falter. I still decided not to stop because food is a must. Food must come from somewhere and it must be planted. You can join the ranks too. Stop digging out your hand, Miguel. Join the ranks. Stop wasting time. Farm the land to feed your friend.
Finger-licking jerk chicken, Helcher fish and bami, will run down yam and banana, roast breadfruit, sweet potato pudding. Jamaica food sweet. So let's make a pledge to use more local produce and less foreign goods. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Sweet Jamaica, we not left.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, pathway to prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Thanks for watching Jamaica Magazine. I hope you found our program very informative. Let us know by sending your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via tweet at JISnews. You can also visit our website jis.gov.jm for more information. On behalf of the production crew, I am Theodore Henry. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.